Hi, my name's Rachel. I turn 34 tomorrow, and this is day 5 of talking to the camera to try to reduce my anxiety, to improve my confidence, and to become a better communicator. In my last video, I spoke about my experience of volunteering for a charity within a supermarket, and on that same day, I had a parallel experience to that, which I didn't discuss. And in the grand scheme of things, it really isn't a big deal, but at the time, it really made me feel very uncomfortable. So I was stationed at the entrance of the supermarket, and that was in the line of sight of the security desk, as you'd expect, so they could see everyone coming and going. And I noticed that one of the security guards kept looking at me, and he eventually came over and we got to chatting. It was like very friendly, very light-hearted, and he asked me a lot of questions which I didn't really think anything of, like stupidly, including like whereabouts I lived, the fact that I was single, how I was getting home. And it's so stupid, like hearing myself say that, but that's really, yeah, what happened. And he ended up saying that he was in his early 20s and he asked me out on a date. And I declined. And at the time, I felt really flattered because I'm in my mid-30s now, so he's more than 10 years younger than me. And I just felt good that he expressed interest. I felt good about myself. But I declined because I'm not interested in that kind of age gap. And it was like fine. It was fine in the moment. Like he was like okay about it. He was still friendly. He was still relaxed. So we carried on chatting for a bit, and he ended up asking again. And so I declined again. And so we carried on talking, and then the cycle kept repeating. And I'm not sure how many times it happened, but he must have asked at least like 5 times, like maybe more. And every time I said no, and I became very, very uncomfortable standing there, repeating myself, repeating the no, and thinking like, oh, I told him whereabouts I lived. Oh, I told him how I was getting home. Oh, I told him that I'm single, like all that kind of stuff, like that I going back, like wish I'd just lied or kept it to myself. And I was feeling really uncomfortable, like this guy who's a lot bigger than me, like asking over and over again. He eventually like leaves, and the other volunteer, or the volunteer coordinator that I was with, it was a woman at that point because they kind of switched around, and she was aware of what was happening, which I was really, really glad about, and she offered me a lift home. And so yeah, so that was all fine. And I kind of regret that I wasn't firmer and that I stayed friendly, but I don't really know how to handle myself in those kind of situations, and I'd be interested to know what you recommend I should have done in that situation. Hopefully it doesn't happen again, but we'll see. That was it for day 5. Thank you, and maybe see you for day 6.